12 years ago, we bought land in the woods. And started building a little cabin. And we've been building this little off-grid homestead ever since. We're gonna show you the whole thing, all the off-grid stuff, all the homestead stuff, and I invented something I'm super excited to share with you because no one's ever done this that I know about. But you know how some people say they're off-grid and you're like, are they really off-grid? Well, it turns out that that is a good question. Being off-grid is kind of like a gray scale. It's not black and white. So I invented the Gridlessness index. And it's a way to kind of quantify how off-grid you are. We'll talk more about that. Let's look at this. The root cellar. This thing is just buried in the bank. This first one, oh my, look at this. Cheese, Rose is stacking up cheese in here. So this first one is more subject to outside temperatures. So look at that, it's 13 degrees. And it does freeze a little bit in the wintertime, but this one does not freeze in the winter. So right now it's just early summer and we don't really have any of this year's product in here. In a month or two, we'll start filling it up. What is it? Oh, it's pretty warm in here too. 13 degrees. And the root cellar is a game changer. So being off grid typically means not being connected to electricity or gas or maybe water and sewer. But I think it's actually more than that. I think what we really mean by being off grid is we mean we're independent. You know, independent from those things, but also maybe we're growing a lot of our own food. And one of our favorite food supplies, right here. Look at that milk. That's amazing, Julia. You're gonna fill that bucket.
No, she's just about empty.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Still, that's over 2 gallons, hey?
Yeah.
And there's her calf. Little steer calf now. He's already a couple 100 pounds. So growing our own food is, I don't know how to say it. It's just really rewarding for so many reasons. And it contributes to our independence, our freedom and control when we have more control over our food. So you don't get milk for free. Of course, you got to get the cow, but also you need all these pastures. So we've built these almost 10 years ago, and mostly they've been full of goats. But they work for cows, they work for horses. There's 1, 2, and then a third one right here. Those are the small pens. And they are about 40 meters by 80 meters. Do you guys remember Sarah and Abby building their own tiny house a few years back? Let's check in. There it is. Still cute as ever. They got a premium view over the pasture. This is the first pasture we built for the horses. It's a bit over 2 acres, I think. And it's been great, but it's even greater to have more pasture to be able to rotate the animals. That is the cutest little house the cutest little girl's ever made. And I still love this door. There's a video of us making this door. It's out of yellow cedar. Hola!
Hi.
It's been a long time since I've been in here.
Really?
Yeah, it's been ages. I actually forgot that you had this shelf. The girls milled all, I mean, they built everything, but they even made this paneling. And look at this.
These are all my Baja shells.
Oh, look at these calories. Oh,
Look at this one.
no way. That's unreal. Cool. Hey, you got a nice view of everything from up here. How long ago did you guys make this?
Well, when did we finish it or when did we make it?
Well, it did take us a while, but when did we finish it? Like, when did you move in?
Well, I moved in like 5 years ago, maybe.
Wow. When you were just a baby. Look at this. I love it. That's amazing. So, a little bed over there, some baskets. Bed over here.
You want to see my view?
Yeah.
Whoa. There's Penny's pen. You can see a long ways.
So this thing, if you're curious, this is a propane heater. And the girls just barely keep heat in here. They just keep the frost off in the winter, hey?
Basically.
Oh, look. Let me see that again. I love it. And here's the garden. Things are just starting to look happy. Pretty late start this spring. But we got some things happening. Onions. Cabbages. And then lots of potatoes. Potatoes, 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 potatoes. Beets. Boy, they're looking a little
Sad.
rough, hey? Well, yikes. Yeah. Oh, there's Rose.
Hi.
Rose,
Yes.
tell me about the peas.
They need a wire to climb on.
Yeah, it's about time, hey?
Yeah. Like I hadn't been up here for a few days, and it's suddenly like,
Yeah, it's popping up now.
so I was like, oh man, I better get on that.
Yeah. This garden was forest
Yeah, I know.
just a few years back. And I mean, even thicker than that, that's been thinned because that's our big horse pasture. But we had pigs in here and we've cleared it out. And now look, it's almost a legit garden, although it also kind of looks like a lawn right now. We bought one of these giant sprinklers that can sprinkle this entire garden in one shot. But to drive it, we need a lot of pressure, so we're running a little Honda pump. This little Honda pump here is drawing water from the pond down there. And that is a pretty big, deep pond. We talk about this lots in our water video, our off-grid water video. But it's important to mention that we got multiple water sources here. One is the pond for the gardens, but the main one, besides this sprinkler, I'll show you the main water source. The tank on a hill. And if you listen close, you can hear the water coming in. That's the ram pump. And from here it's distributed all over to all the gardens and the animal pens. In fact, we keep growing our gardens, and so we keep wanting to add on more water systems. And what we found is, and if you want to feed a family, you need a lot of food. And if you want to grow a lot of food, you need to have a lot of water. That rhubarb's sure doing good this year. And this is Christina's horseradish. Just last year we planted,
These
you
ones.
can kind of see where they're bigger. Just a month ago we planted these little sucker shoots.
Yeah, they were just like suckers from these other plants.
Yeah, but they're looking really healthy.
Yeah, they are.
Like, there's raspberries on these little bushes.
They're coming.
We're gonna get some raspberries.
We're gonna hook up some lines up to here,
Yeah,
and then I'm gonna get an automatic dripper for both of these lines of raspberries.
just a gravity dripper.
Yeah.
Like a few years ago, when I was able to stop working full time, we thought, you know, we're not making much money, but we have time. So let's invest our time in things that actually like return. And one of our biggest investments was the water system.
Yes.
Because you can go hand water everything. It's true.
It just takes you all day long to water everything.
Right. And the problem with that is, I mean, you could be doing other things. So if you want to grow a whole big garden, you make the investment, install a water system, and then you can water all sorts of gardens. Think they get along, Christina?
Yeah.
These dogs, Tika is the old one, and Christina got Ivy, the young one, a year ago. And they have guarded this property very diligently and successfully. So even though this forest is full of bears and wolves, the dogs keep them off the property. And hey, funny story, what did we find in the horse pen one time?
A fox toe.
Or a coyote?
Or a coyote toe, yeah.
But what do you mean the toe?
It was just a toe.
Just
Like the toenail and the toe pad.
So we heard something going on up in there one time, and we went up there the next day, and the best we can figure is the horses chased off and stomped the coyote.
Yeah.
And literally removed its toe. And we never heard from them since. We're gonna put our 3/4 inch water line inside this 2-inch line and put that in this little trench underneath our little roadway. Okay, we'll come check back in on this water system. But Rose, we should go look at the rest of the stuff.
Okay.
Look at that garlic. Oh yeah. How big do you think they are now?
Probably 50 pounds.
Yeah, I'd say. They still have lots of grass to eat in here to root up. How many are you selling?
2.
Just 2? Just to friends and family? Are you doing it illegally or with the full consent of the government? No comment. Very wise. It is a thing. Like, food production is so heavily regulated, and it's really, in my gridlessness index, I'm referring to purchased food as a grid. If you, or even you and a couple friends or a couple neighbors can't fix it, it's a grid. And so it's really nice to have alternative food supply. It's really nice to be able to grow your own food. We produce basically 100% of our own meat, and we produce a lot of our own vegetables, but maybe only half. And we produce all of our own dairy. Let's look at the rest of this stuff.
Okay.
We got a Wood Miser LT15, and it looks like it's part of the property. It is used all the time. The girls were up here just the other day, and they milled some beautiful siding. Oh, I can smell it.
Oh yeah.
Look at this stuff.
Beauty.
Nice big 1x. It is just amazing to be able to mill your own trees. Like, there's a spruce there, and here's some old poplar. If you just need a little bit of wood, it almost just comes to you, right? Like, there's the odd tree that's a windfall, or you're clearing some land, and so you clear a tree, and you're firewooding. And when you firewood, you're like, ooh, this is, there's some good milling sticks in here. And so you mill the milling sticks, and then you firewood the rest. And yeah, the slabs, like nothing goes to waste out of the wood mill. So here's the round slabs, and we stack them up like this, and then buck them into firewood. And in some fireplaces, you might call that a little awkward piece of firewood, but in the wood cook stove,
It works really well.
they're just awesome because those things just split into kind of kindling size really easy.
Yeah. And then we use all the sawdust for the composting toilet.
Look, we got this little bucket here, collecting sawdust. And mostly we use it for the composting toilet, but you can use sawdust for anything, for mulching or...
Yeah, I was actually just looking at this thinking I could use it for
we could
mulching.
probably just scrape some up there.
Yep.
Anyways, back to some of the gardens. I didn't really show you the extent of the big pen we made because it's a big pen. It's over 4 acres. But we've been just brushing it out and clearing it out just a little bit and throwing some grass seed here and there. And it's a wonderful bush pen for the horses. You know, fencing, it's one of those investments you make and it just returns, because as soon as you got a proper fence, you can kind of put any animal into it when you need to, when you want to, and that animal is always producing you eggs or meat or milk. This is our duck pen. So we dug them a nice deep pond here a year or two ago. We got a couple broody hens, but I don't know, I'm getting a little anxious to see babies. I don't know if it's gonna happen. Wow, what a hiding spot.
Look at her feathers she's got all around her.
Oh, you can just see some eggs under there.
Yeah, she's like, don't come that close to me.
Come on, have some babies. We've had chickens and ducks. Both of them we've had quite a bit for quite a number of years, and I don't know, it kind of feels like a duck season right now. I really like the ducks. They splash in the pond, they're quiet, they don't peck each other to death. Their eggs are delicious, and I like eating ducks. Oh, look at this. Look at all this burr comb with honey. Oh my goodness. What do you see?
Eggs and brood.
That's
The
good.
honey is literally pouring off that frame.
Yeah, they shouldn't have put it there in the first place.
I know, why are they putting so much burr comb on the top?
I don't know, but this one has a queen sound.
Hallelujah.
Good. Boy, these bees are chill. They just do not even kill.
Chilly.
They're drunk on... Oh, yikes.
Don't get stung.
That guy blew right into me.
The smell is unbelievable.
What would you smell?
Beeswax.
What do you see?
Look at all the brood.
Whoa, that's so much.
This is gonna explode.
That is
Need
awesome.
rocks.
Crazy.
That's very good.
That's great to see, hey Julia?
Yeah.
A good colony, it'd give us 50 pounds of honey. So that'd be amazing. Imagine if we got 150 pounds of honey.
It'd be amazing.
Yeah. Oh, little apples starting. Oh man, that's great. We've got currants.
There, Jeff. There's a big one.
Oh yeah, look at these couple here.
Yep.
Ooh, look, can I eat that one already? I just picked it up.
Okay, I guess you're eating it.
Oh man, this is pretty early to be eating berries.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that. It's a very tangy flavor. Almost has like a tiny bit of juniper, but doesn't have that. No, but it doesn't have that bitterness of the juniper, but just maybe the strong flavor. Chives, parsley, and then look at the strawberries.
They're just starting to ripen.
Yep. Look at this one.
Okay, eat it. I'm
Okay.
gonna eat one too.
I'll tell you if it's sweet. I won't even lie.
You won't even lie.
Oh my goodness, Rose.
Are they good?
That just like melted my face. Oh, there's a pile of them in there. Rose, eat them.
I'm eating them.
Quick. Yeah, they don't need to be a super bright
Oh my goodness.
red. Like that's just kind of pink, but oh man. I can't even focus on the camera here. It's
Wow.
okay. We need to pick these. We got some little carrots going in here.
The
We got
stalks are coming
onions. Oh,
No,
garlic. These things just seems like they grow like a foot a day at this rate. But this is what we call the snacking garden. It's not enough to, you know, feed a nation, but the snacking garden is...
For snacking. Do you want to go see the greenhouse?
Yeah, greenhouse is next. Okay, Rose, we built the greenhouse 4 years ago. 6 feet tall, covered with flowers. This is our cherry tomatoes.
They're coming.
Look at these peppers. Look at those ones.
They're ready to eat. Oh, I was gonna say we
Bruce.
should pick it.
We should eat one.
Yeah, let's pick it.
Okay.
And his and hers.
Okay. Wow. That's super flavorful. How's yours?
Really good.
Oh my. The world's cutest little cucumber. These banana peppers are coming along great. And tomatoes. Oh, this tomatoes, Rose.
It's not totally ripe.
This one is?
Nope.
Look down here.
I see it.
Rose, that's pretty ripe.
It's very close. That's not totally ripe.
Yep, it is. Rose, it just fell off into my hands.
I was saving that.
Oh boy. Okay, I gotta stop doing this.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So, the last couple of years, we've averaged maybe 200 pounds of tomatoes in the greenhouse.
Look at this basil.
Oh yeah, it's shooting up.
I need to cut it.
And so this little greenhouse, it's about 14 by 20. And there you go. It supplies tons of peppers, tomatoes, and cucumbers, and look at this thing. This ugly tank, biodigester. And last year I played around with a little 45-gallon drum, and I didn't even tell you guys about it. It worked great. So this year I'm going big. Wow. She used to look at me like that.
I still look at you like that.
Okay, I am gonna quickly show you something out here. You see the solar panels? I've got them all laid down in their summer position. They can stand up for winter. And in behind that, I actually have 2 more panels just laying on the roof for now. The roof also collects the rainwater. I'll take you in there and I'll show you the rainwater and I'll show you the power system briefly. But I do have other videos on those, so you can go check them out. And they've got all the details. We got water collecting up on the roof, but I built a raised floor for this guest house. And underneath there, I got 900 gallons of water. That water is pumped through a whole pile of filters. And so we actually have running water, but just in the shop. We have a sink and a washing machine out here. I'll show you the power system. Lithium ion batteries. Sunny day, so we are at 100%. And again, we have a whole video on this, so I'm not gonna go into it. Only 518 watts, so the batteries are full. That means, well, that's probably just the lights on right now in the shop. So the solar system really does provide 100% of our power minus, I would say we run about probably 3 full jerrys of gas a year running in the backup generator. So, you know, that's 60 liters or 15 gallons of gas. Now, I would love to get rid of that. It's super practical, like that's not very expensive. There's our backup Jenny. It works okay. I would rather put the money into more panels and then buy a cheap generator that you barely need to use. That being said, I mean, a better generator is always better. But if you got to compromise on the cost, I'd rather buy more solar equipment. And this ugly contraption, this is like the shame of my whole homestead. And you're gonna see when I do my score, my energy independence score, this kills me right here. Now I don't need this, but what I have in here is a gas hot water tank. And I have a little fancy electric pump. Okay, it's not fancy. And it circulates in-floor heat. And I hate buying the propane, and I don't even like the tank sitting here. Look at, can you think of an uglier thing than a big ugly propane tank? So if I'm here all the time, I can just heat the shop with wood. But I don't have a wood boiler that circulates through the floor, and the radiant heat is like the best. So you'll see, this is an area that I want to improve. And look, here's all those slabs from the mill. Aren't they beautiful? I love them. A little more firewood over here. And look, here's our solar powered laundry dryer machine. The old-fashioned clothesline. Here's our backup water system. This is just handy to come wash your hands or fill a pail or something. It's definitely not drinking water, but collected off the woodshed roof. It's really nice to have a couple hundred liters in the tank. And here is the most beautiful outhouse you'll ever see. This is what you're supposed to do if you're in there. Thank you, Dave and Shoshana. So here it is. It is an open air experience. This is your view. Got a nice breeze. None of that hot, stuffy, stinky outhouse thing.
No.
The ground is 6 feet down there. And so it's actually an above ground composting toilet.
Yeah.
And so the product underneath the toilet is actually getting oxygen and it's actually composting. And then every year we just dig it out. And you can see down here, it's just sawdust. That's really what it just looks like. There's two sides. There's actually a cap because there's another hole. And every 6 months I move this pedestal and then 6 months later I move it back. And what that means is you can use one side for 6 months and then leave it for 6 months while we're using the other side. And that way, when you dig this out, it built up for 6 months, it sat there and broke down for 6 months, and then when you dig it out, it just looks like sawdust. So the homestead tour is just about complete, but we actually have the most important part left. There it is. Our little cabin in the woods. Here it is, the most beautiful part of our house, the mudroom.
Is it really the most beautiful? I don't think so.
It's actually really nice to have room to put your shoes.
It is.
You know how you have these little shelves that have weird stuff on them? This is apparently where we keep antlers and horns and cactuses. Kazir? It's just a tiny bedroom. Do you know that you have one of the world's tiniest bedrooms? Mm-hmm. Give me your arm span. Show me how small it is. So that's about 5 feet, eh? Not even, I guess. And then a little single bed. But you and Christina, you used to share this room since you were little tiny. Actually,
Sarah and Abby did.
yeah, that's right. And when you were really tiny, you used to be in the triple bunk bed. Mm-hmm. Living room. It's my favorite part of the house, right here. It's 24/7 wilderness TV. Now this is my office. Right here. If you've never had a hammock in your house, we're designed for hammocks. I don't think you guys have even seen this video yet, because I haven't made it yet. But that is ore. You'll see soon enough what's in that ore. And this thing, oh man, you're gonna see more of that. Anyways, so here's the living room, and here's Rose's drying rack. Dave made this. Got
And
mittens and socks, and everything can hang on there, and everything else can hang on here. And so in the wintertime, that thing is loaded full time.
Dries from the wood stove.
Yep. And it hangs up out of the way. And so you see the way we built this, and we just put these posts, cedar posts right there, and then around the side, around the outside, cedar posts. And we picked up some kind of used cribbing, railway tie size wood, and then we harvested these logs right off the property. Great big pine, beetle kill pine. And that's it. It's a rectangle. It's got a low slope roof. So the house is cozy in the winter, cool in the summer. It's basically perfect.
Basically.
Hello?
Nope.
She left it undefended. Oh, look at that beautiful bear hide. Unbelievable. The bear hides are so amazing to throw at the foot of your bed. But this room used to have a two bunk, like an L-shaped bunk bed. And it was Julia and Kezia and Christina used to sleep in here.
You can almost forget that, actually. When you were saying that, I was like, what?
I know.
Right.
Before the girls built their mini house.
That's right. That's
tiny
how
house.
it worked.
Over here, we have some technology. So without that cell phone booster, we get very, very barely any cell service. So this thing we've had from the beginning. And that is the Starlink internet.
Here's the kitchen.
Oh, look at that. We got kombucha.
Yes.
That's the second ferment.
That's the second ferment.
It's getting bubbly.
Yep.
And look at it over there on the shelf. We got 2 kombuchas brewing. So here's the centerpiece. The wood cook stove. And this thing makes everything.
It does.
You can boil water and you can bake a cake. Rose has become an expert, and anyone could become an expert when they try it.
Yeah.
You just have to do it for a while.
You just have to try it.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. There's the firewood. The girls split this nice small pieces. And we use the Berkey every single day. Our water system from the rainwater is kind of filtered, but it's not drinkable yet. So we put it in the Berkey and then it comes out tasty.
And clean.
Yeah. And the sink has a tap, but it's only for looks. This doesn't do anything. The water we carry in from the shop.
That's our running water.
Our running water is the kids running to get the water. Rose has got canned peaches and salsa.
Some might say that this is a bit of an addiction. What else is it?
I don't even know if that's up for debate, Rose. Okay, here's her little mini pantry thing. Mixer. And in the summertime, we get to use a toaster. And this thing
Is the king of all.
it's just a fridge, but
It's the most important
how long did we
thing.
go without a fridge?
Probably close to a year.
Oh, I think it was more than that.
Wasn't it?
Well, we didn't even have the power system for the first couple years.
Okay. I've forgotten.
Yeah. Did we point out the Blaze King yet?
I did, but I don't know if you saw it.
The Blaze King is amazing. It heats this place no problem. And it heats all our hot water.
Yeah.
If we're not using the cook stove. Rose has canned a ton of stuff. This is your bathroom sink. Again, the sink doesn't, those taps don't work. It's just cedar. I was gonna put benches in here and it was gonna be a little sauna. This is a tiny little camping shower knob that you could just turn some water on. But the water comes from up in that brew pot. So it's an 8-gallon pot and it just has a spigot that comes out and goes down here. And we actually pump into it. The line comes down the wall. It goes to a pump, which is controlled here. And it sucks out of this hose. So this is actually pretty key technology because it enables you to have a totally normal shower.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't know that it wasn't a normal shower.
Yes, you would. Like that little knob is like what makes it also not a normal shower. 'Cause you
Right,
have
but
to
except for the
regulate-
knob. Like instead of having knobs on the shower wall, you just have the valve at the top.
And you only have a limited supply of water. But
It's like 8 gallons,
sometimes.
which is tons.
Yeah. For anybody who is in a regular house with
Yeah.
running water,
Yeah.
they would notice the difference. Except like with the water coming down on you and whatever.
Hot water comes down on you from above. It's basically a normal shower. The way you do it is you just pre-mix that water to the temperature that you like.
Yes.
And then you pump it up there and then you use it right away.
Yes.
And this glorious space is the screened-in porch.
This is the magical place.
Because right now, it's mosquito season. But in here, like, they're all stuck on the outside. And we can just be in here. And, I mean, the odd one gets in. And then you use a zapper and you just zap it.
Yeah.
It's very satisfying.
Right.
So we got another wood cook stove. You can can out here.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, if it's hot and you don't want to heat up the house too much. Or if you just want to sit out here and enjoy the outside.
Yep.
And this one we grabbed. Little secondhand deal. That's our new charcoal grill. And so look, we've been making charcoal. And we do have, you noticed, a propane little stove here. And that's just if we want to do something super fast Like just make a little kettle of water in the summertime when we've got no other fires burning.
Right.
It's glorious. Did we already say that?
It is glorious.
Oh my.
I saved that. Hokey doodle.
Oh man. Look at that. Okay. So there you have it. We're ready to finish the Gridlessness index and come up with our final score. But before we do that, I just want to check and see if the girls finished up the raspberry irrigation. All right. Oh, I hear something happening. Oh yeah, it is. No way, Rose. Oh my.
It is too.
Water is shooting into our raspberries. We can't produce a lot of fruits up here, but berries. We're actually very well endowed with berries.
We do well with berries. I'm very happy about this.
How happy?
Very happy.
Okay. Do you like this homestead?
I love it.
It's amazing, right?
It's amazingly peaceful.
Yeah. There it is.
Here it is.
Data. Are you happy with it? We got available 50 points for energy. And we just listed solar, electric, and firewood, and I could have put charcoal in there. So we have full marks for making our own heat source and our own electricity source. But then we kind of get penalties for using all this. So backup Jenny,
Right.
60 liters. Truck getting propane, if I have to go to town to pick up propane, 50 liters of diesel, bobcat, chainsaw, backup heat. Now this one
Is the one that kills us.
you're gonna want to look at this one. That's a killer. And so the total score we get out of 50 is 36 points. Yeah, it could be better.
It should be better.
It should be better. You know what? If we don't use this backup propane, that goes up to like 46. Water, we almost get full points for water, but we do use a tiny bit of fuel in the water pump once in a while. So we get 9.9 out of 10 for supplying all our own water. Now food, 40 points. Meat protein, we make 100%. Dairy, 90%. Grains, 0. Fruit and berries, 15%. That's gonna go up with those raspberries.
Yeah.
And vegetables, 50%, and salts, herbs, spices, etc., 20%, mostly just the herbs and the honey. And the penalties are we purchase hay for the cow, we purchase pig feed grain, some like garden starts once in a while, and we use some fuel. So our total score, 13.5 out of 40. That's way less than 50%.
Yeah.
Now look at this section, debt. The way I figure is if you owe money on the land, you it's a huge penalty.
Right,
Because
yeah.
really you don't own any of this stuff.
Right, yeah.
So we're very thankful that years ago we got rid of all our debt. So we don't get any penalty.
No demerits.
But our score, 59.5 out of 100.
We are 59.5% gridless.
Barely, yeah. It's almost been misleading that our name is Gridlessness. And we're only 59.5% Gridlessness. So, how do I feel about that? First of all, I think it's kind of cool to quantify it. It's just like a ballpark. It's obviously I just made it up. It could be improved quite a bit. But I think it's valid. And I think the interesting thing is you find out that like, yeah, I would have said we're very off grid out here. But it's like when you're still reliant on burning a bunch of diesel, how off grid are you? If you want to know about any more of like the solar system specifically, or the water, or the wood cook stove, we have videos for those. You can go check those out.